Welcome to Jump School. I'm your host, Ihsaan Ali, aka the StyleJumper. On this podcast, you'll learn a ton of things. We'll talk about style, confidence, etiquette, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description. Today's guest is an entrepreneur, content creator, partner in Beyond the Brand, online course creator, guru, and juggernaut, black dude with a Spanish name, Jose Bennett. Episode 22. The following is an excerpt from Instagram Live. Let's go.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Feeling good. First off, can you hear me and how's my service?
Oh, man. You great, man. You ain't glitching, man. We good.
Okay, look, see, you're not supposed to say that word. That's how we jinx the whole thing when you say stuff like that, brother.
That's what's up, Jose. Good to see you, brother.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here, brother. You already know.
Yeah, man. So I guess we'll start it off, time is money, and everybody want every bit of this opportunity to get an education and grow. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight on this week's Jump School with the amazing educator, edutainer, just all the above, Mr. Jose Bennett. One of the things I have to say about Jose is I've learned so much from this brother. He is a consummate conduit of love and creation and creativity. He's constantly plugging in. For those who don't know, Jose has a phenomenal story, but also I think you guys are going to really tap into how he empowers and how he pulls you in just through his knowledge. So without a doubt and without further notice, let's welcome Mr. Jose Bennett to the Jump School.
Look, you make me sound pretty good out here. Like I'm loving it. Huh? I'm loving it.
That's what's up, man. So really grateful to have you on tonight. Jose's moniker, black man with a Spanish name.
Yeah, well, it's black dude with a Spanish name, but we can take black man today. I'll be a man today.
Black dude, black man with a Spanish name. It's funny because before I saw your pic, I was like, who's Jose?
Look, I got a couple of aliases. I got it Minnie Morris Chestnut.
There you go.
Idris Elbow. Like, I'm not playing out here in these streets. Black dude with a Spanish name. Hey.
That's what's up, man.
It's like, nah, let me stop playing with y'all. Let's get to it, though.
All right, so let's get to it. So, Jose, let everybody know, give us some insight where you grew up, and let us know about, your upbringing and how this impacted your life.
Yeah, man. I actually grew up in the D.C. area, PG County to be exact. The border's right on in D.C., of course, for those who know PG, D.C., DMV area. Actually had a great upbringing, though, like really good two-parent household. Parents still married as of, 35, 36 years. Nice. Two sisters, two older sisters, and one younger brother. But yeah, as far as my upbringing, one of the things I can say, though, even though I had two older sisters and a younger brother, I did always feel like a loner. And as well as me growing up, one of the things I didn't do a lot was play with toys. Like, as I was coming up, I was one of those ones, I was looking at the jukebox. I was always looking at MTV, looking at music videos and things of that nature. And I wanted to be in music. So that was my biggest calling, I thought, and my passion at a very, very young age, and growing up, I had a family that would foster that. My dad was in the music, my uncles were in the music. And so, of course, not actually the music that I was listening to, but at the same time, that creativity, that passion, that drive, I had it. And like I said, my parents, my family, friends, and everybody, they went on to that. And I was able to do, have a professional music career until I was like, you know what, this is not my passion anymore.
Oh, really? So talk about that real quick, Jose. Were you were you on the production side, or you were a lyricist? Where did you fall?
Actually a rapper. I'm actually featured on 3 of Genuine's albums. One of my rap name was Jose Cinquentes. Okay. So some of the people who know the Cinquentes, they'll still joke with me like, yo, Cinquentes, what does that even mean? I was like, look, I was in the shower one day and I came up with it. had a couple of situations where with Sony and things of that nature. But my whole thing was I wasn't in to the whole traveling and doing the tours. I mean, I was on tour as far as with Genuine, and that was a lot of things going on with that. But I was like, yeah, this is not what I'm made out to do. You know what I'm saying? This is not what I'm built for. You know, it was just one of those things. And I was just like, okay, cool. Again, I loved creation of the music, but everything that came with it. And even, to be honest with you, even what I do now, but the business side with the businesses and the record labels and stuff like that, yeah, nah, that wasn't for me. But I was able to help a couple of other artists as well as my daughter. So she wants to go into that space in regards to singing. So we put a couple of things on iTunes. We're working on an EP. So the things that I learned then are implementing now. You know.
Man. So what's baby girl's plug me? Let's plug her, man. What it is. So everybody on here, we need to pick it up.
Yeah, my daughter is Destiny Anaya. You can actually search right on iTunes, Destiny Anaya, Anaiya. That's her middle name. We just said, hey, we're gonna make that your stage name. And like I said, we got a couple of things out, and we did a music video when she was like what, 7, 8, and people were like, oh my goodness. So right now, her main focus has been acting. She goes to Duke Ellington School of Arts here in the DC area, because she's been singing since she was 2. So she was like, you know what, one of the hardest things for me was the acting. And now she can cry on demand. She's a beast. She wants to do Broadway. So, you know, with Broadway, it's the acting and the singing, the showmanship. So that's what she wants to do. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to do, just like my parents stood behind me.
Absolutely.
I'm going to make it happen with that support. So definitely.
Salute. I love that. Love that. Speaking of which, Genuine. Let me back up. Not everybody, some young folks on here, man. They don't know about Genuine. The funny thing, the first time I heard Genuine, my best friend, Rod Wiggins, came to the boat. I was in the Navy. He came back from Mississippi and was like, man, I got to let you hear this song. I'm like, what's up? Pony. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So Pony came out and changed the game, at least on the boat, man. Genuine was something serious.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, look, real talk. I want everybody to still go out there and stream. I still get residuals. So
okay.
They're on iTunes. I mean, not iTunes, but they're on Instagram as well. So share them in your stories.
What's the song? Which one?
One of them is called Cheddar Brings. And again, you can just search Jose Cinquentes. You see Genuine. Another one's called I Apologize. And another one is called Batteries Remix. And it's with Trina.
Okay.
And the wild part is that I was always this clean rapper, right? I was clean. Always this clean rapper. And I'm on a song with Trina. She's talking about batteries. And we know what the batteries are for. So when you hear it, you be like, yo, how did he, like, I'm trying to tell you, me to write this song, it took a while to even try to get it out so it can be on this clean record. I mean, this, you know, my lyrics had to make sure I'm still representing me on this song about batteries. So anywho, Batteries Remix.
So let's talk about this. So you transition, you know, you decide to get out of that industry and you get into sales, graphics, marketing. Tell us about that whole dynamic and how you got involved with that.
Yeah, so the sales aspect, I was always doing that. I actually took a hiatus from that to go on the road with G. So I started out in, I don't know, I can't probably show my age, but I used to work at this spot called Circuit City. I don't know if anybody ever remember or heard of Circuit City, but I was 100% commission sales. So meaning that your mouth made your check. You know what I'm saying? So literally every time I stepped in front of a customer, I had to be able to close a sale, you know, or my child at the time wouldn't eat. You know, I had my oldest who's about to be 18. And I literally did retail for 17, 18 years. You know, it was crazy. But then I transferred over to car sales for a little bit. Didn't sell many cars, but I was actually under the tutelage of the GM and learned a lot about sales and the training. And I was like, ooh, I could change the game. But one of the things you have to do is be out there on I call it the floor, but out there in the yard. And I was like, it was kind of cold outside. And I ain't built for this. Or it's kind of hot outside. I ain't built for this. And I was like, all right, I appreciate the training. I'm going to take these bits and pieces that y'all gave me, and I'm going to take it over I went to the cell phone network. First cell phone network that I went to was AT&T. Was doing my thing over there, killing the game. And then I was like, all right, cool. I went to Verizon. At Verizon, I had spent 13 years there.
Oh,
At
wow.
Verizon, from sales to management, back to sales, because I was making my own money. Again, when you have your team making your own money versus when you're making your own money, it's a lot different. So I
Yep.
went back to sales. And then the wild part is the last year while I was there, they created a position for me. It
Mm.
was like, yo, you've been doing so much in regards to engagement and teaching us in regards to social media, teaching us in regards to how to leverage our top tier management to be able to resonate with the people on the sales floor. So they created this thing called a senior analyst of ops. Didn't mean nothing. It was a fancy word. Meaning I didn't have to be in the store. I had 44 stores that I would oversee, 600 some odd employees. I would host our internal social media and things of that nature. One of the things I did implement that I didn't get the credit for, if you ever see anybody still on IG who has that BZW in front of their name, their at name, that was one of the things that I brought to the table. So people who were potential customers could understand what was going on behind the scenes at the store. We were trying to build up that, so not only that communication with upper management to the store, but also to our potential customers and our customers in the store to let them know, like, we're real people. Not out here just to sell you that new phone and some accessories,
Yeah.
so that was one of the things. And then after the 1 year mark of that position, and again, I had nothing but freedom. I actually, at that point, because of structural situations and firings, I didn't even have a manager. Like, there was no supervisor. I was just literally willy-nilly out in these streets of Verizon. And I was like, yo, it's time to go. So literally, I was like, all right, it's time for me to leave and time for me to structure out. And I was still getting paid, though. It was like, I don't know, what was that movie, The Office? Where, I don't know, but it was something where the dude was like, yo, you still showing up, you ain't getting the check. Mine was the exact opposite. I wasn't even showing up, but I was still getting the check.
Getting
You
those
know what I'm saying?
chips. Do it.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, and then at that time, and I know you're about to ask the question, but I want to talk about it. The transition was, at the time, that's when I met Dr. Eric Thomas. That's during that time period.
Okay.
That last moment, and shout out to my partner in grind, Nikki, my sister from another mister. Out here in the DMV area, Eric had a Breve University brunch.
Okay.
And this brunch was free.
Hmm.
And I'm like, whoa, my other partner's name is Miguel. He had put me down. He's like, yo, you heard this dude, Eric Thomas? I was like, yeah, I listen to his stuff all the time. He's like, well, he can be here and he doing a free brunch. I was like, free? What's the catch? He said, all you got to do is be a member of Breve University. I'm like, okay, how much does it cost? He was like, $19.99. I was like, man, stop playing. Is there a contract? He was like, nope. Man,
let's get it.
Signed up for Breve University the week before, went to that brunch that Saturday, and literally I took my camera. So for those who don't know, also in the artistic and the creative side, I started out with a camera. Just a brief step back. A lot of people are like, yo, how did you start with the camera? Well, in 2014, my youngest daughter had passed away. I had 5 kids. She was 5 years old, had Burkitt's lymphoma. I took off for Verizon for a month and a half.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is my bereavement. Y'all can do what y'all want. But at the same time, during the time while I was off, to keep my mind sane, I would be on YouTube for 18 hours a day, literally 18 hours a day, every day, learning about videography, photography, editing, all these different things. And I just and it was a lot of different people, from Peter McKinnon to YC Imaging, like all these different people. And I would just take that same thing and make my own. And I created my own style after, like I said, and basically within this month and a half, I learned was something that somebody would take 10 years to learn. And I learned in a month and a half. And again, it was just to keep my mind sane.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the brunch with Eric Thomas. I took my camera, shot pictures, bow. And next thing you know, that a lot of my shots were on the website for Breve University, Eric Thomas. And it was a lot of times where most of my stuff was thrown up on social media. And they was like, hey, yo, you fire. Come through this other event.
Yeah.
All right, I will. So this process went on and went on and went on. And then I was able to become part of the team. And literally just by showing value, just by putting in that work, just by like, you know what, I don't want anything from you, but I want to add to the vision. I want to add to what are you doing? Because why? I believe in it. And I tell anybody this for real, because I get a lot of times people like, yo, how'd you get with ET? Or if I wanted to meet with Tyler Perry or something like that, what would I have to do? And I say, yo, add value, but not trying to add value to Tyler Perry. Maybe you have somebody who is just the caterer. Can you add value to that person? All right, great. Now you got the production assistant. Okay, cool. You add value to this person, and you consistently add a value and true value to that person. Then you might have somebody who is a director or a background director or assistant director. You add value to them. Then you might have somebody who's in hospitality, and then it works up the ladder. So by time you are able to get to a Tyler Perry, your name has got to him before you did. Why? Because everybody who you helped beforehand has spoke on your behalf in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know, I hear that a lot of times. So in this space, that's why I tell people add value. I'll be honest with you. I was working with Eric Thomas for 2 years before I had an official conversation with him.
Oh, wow.
Why? What I would always see was everybody was like, I just want a minute of your time. I just want to do this. I just want to show you this. I want to tell you how much you mean to me. Can you do this? 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 I just wanted to add value. That's the same thing also with Inky Johnson, you know. So I work with Inky Johnson, like running his brand in regards to that, the social media and things of that nature. How? Just wanted to add value before that, you know what I'm saying? Before that stuff. So, yeah.
I think it's interesting because I think a lot of us, you know, we think about connecting with someone on that level. We want to be so in their face. We want to show them like, hey, look at me, look what I can do, or I can make it better, or I can do this, instead of having that heart of servitude first. And let your service speak for you, to your point of being ahead, your name being ahead of you actually physically being there. It's the work, the effort, the constant commitment to pour into the service, and the service echoed the opportunity. You created opportunity because of the service. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, hands down, brother. And like I said, there's value in working for something, and you can look back like, okay, cool, versus it being handed to you. You know what I'm saying? And any person that I rock with you, whether you're a client of mine and I'm working on your personal brand, you're working with me and I'm working on your course. I only rock with you if I know you're impacting people. That's it. Like literally, I have people who come to me all the time like, yo, I want you to do my strategy. We do a consultation. I'm like, yeah, this is, and I always tell people, know what's in your wheelhouse and know what's not in your wheelhouse as well. Shout out to my partner, Nikki. She used to hammer that in me. Again, I came from a sales background. I wanted to help everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she'd be like, no, we can't help everybody. We can't do this. And I had to learn that one. And I was like, okay, cool. Knowing what's in my wheelhouse and what's not, and who do I help and who I don't help. And if you're not about impacting people, you're trying to get over, nah, I can't rock with you. Hands down.
I mean, that's good though. That shows character. That shows that it's beyond the dollar. It's beyond that name recognition. But you know, hey, my integrity is much higher than this dollar, this upfront opportunity. Maybe, you know what I mean? Because you can then pour yourself into someone who's doing something on the shade. Next thing you know, you're drugged through the mud with that person, which is not leading with integrity and service.
Hands down, brother. Hands down.
Well, look, you know, when we talk about, and the reason why a lot of people tune in tonight is an online course. And before I start talking about the online course, let me back up a little bit. So we're on a call 5 days a week. And shout out to David Shands and Sleepless Nights. And that's how I actually was introduced to you. You know, let's talk about the value of, you know, personal development, because we all may have a skill set, or we believe that we have a skill set. We may believe that we have a business or a brand, but why is it so important to really focus on self-development?
So first and foremost, even just in my studies, one of the biggest things that I've seen about that most successful people have in common is understanding who they are. That understanding your true and authentic self. It's funny, even and I always bring up my partner Nikki. Even yesterday, she resent me the test and retook the DIS certification to really understand who I am. Just to think I was in a bad situation, 2 weeks ago when I had COVID, right? And I had COVID for 3 weeks, and it was the worst thing, or literally the second worst thing ever in life that I've ever been through. First being as far as my daughter, and it changed me, right? So it changed me. Yeah,
What
at
way?
the same. Well, it changed. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm totally transparent, right? To be honest with you, it was so bad I was ready to go, like sayonara. I'm straight. I was never afraid of death. I'm one of those ones. I use quick commercial break. I'm very scared of butterflies, birds when they're flapping their wings, and roller coasters. Right? Roller coasters. But I would get on roller coasters if I was in line and I saw a little kid walking in the line, or I saw a little kid come off. I'm like, okay, I could do it. Yeah, I could do it. So I say all that because the reason why I'm not afraid of death is I saw my daughter, who was 5 years old, go do it. Yeah. So now death was never a thing. You know what I'm saying? It was never that thing in regards to fear. So going through the COVID situation, they don't talk about the mental health side of it. So I was like, you know what? This was bad. It was a bad thing to me mentally. You're in isolation. You're in pain. The medicine ain't doing it. COVID laughs in the face of the medicine. It ain't doing anything. And I was just like, you wanted 5 minutes of relief. I was like, yes, I'm ready to go. And so coming out of it, there was mental scars. There were still physical scars, internal scars. And again, I had to really learn that about myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through the process, and even going through in regards to therapy, to learn about myself, because the past year, the year and a half, I've been on like this journey of really understand who Jose is. Like beyond anything, because also to really say anything, 2020 been a crazy year for everyone, but it's been my most successful year also, ever. And so I believe that is directly attributed to me learning who I am every day. You know, spending at least 15 to 30 minutes every day trying to learn who I am. Why do I react the way I am? And you can't get that without personal development. You can't get that without the people who you hang around. Everybody who I hang around, everybody is about personal development. So you got to think, I'm fed it constantly over and over and over again. For people who ask, why do I speak the way that I do? For people who ask why I do counseling, or people ask as far as even why my social media is the way it is, because again, I'm around so much of the personal development. This is outside of branding. This is outside of building your course, like that personal development thing. And I know I went on a tangent slightly, but it was something that was real near and dear to heart, you know, when you asked that. So, no.
For sure. I appreciate that. So, you know, first of all, I'm happy, man. Happy to have you, you know, back in the land of the living, if you will, like they say back in the day, back in church. But also, you know, you and I, we actually rescheduled this actual interview in the midst of that. You know what I mean? And so I just remember it, my heart sank, and I was like, man, you know, gosh, you know, that's serious, you know. And then I reconnected. Hey, man, just checking in, see how you doing.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
that. I'm just grateful and you know, and happy that you were able to make it through. Not a lot of people made it through. You know?
I do got something on that. So I said like this, prior to it, I was always about the grind. Again, back to who I'm around personal development, but I'm also around grinders. Like everybody's a grinder. Yet one thing that I noticed, that I was down for 3 weeks, and when I came back, everything was where I left it in regards to the work that I had to do. And I was like, And it made me think. It's like, all right, when I think of the word grind now, it makes me think of to wear down, to, you know, almost like when I think of the word grind down, to almost remove. And I was like, all right, look, am I wearing down as far as my body parts, mentally, physically? I was getting not a lot of sleep, you know, and I was like, nah, I need to be more effective, and I need to be more efficient, but I have to grind. I just had a talk as far as with my guy, wealthy guy. We were just talking for an hour, 30 minutes, and he was like, man, I don't grind for nothing. He's like, I know what I'm going to do, and I'm strategic, but I don't grind for nothing. And I was like, you know what, that's good, because to be honest with you, when we grind and we die with that space, people go on about their lives after 2 weeks. One of my mentors, for those who don't know, his name was Chris Daniel. He was the one who brought the DISC certification to all of us. So for Eric Thomas, for Kendall Ficklin, for Dave Shans, for everybody, he brought it in. He made it cool for us. He grinded and literally just, and I want to say he was like 40, between 40 and 43. Yeah. And that kind of hit home. But at the same time, it would hit home. But then again, we go back to the regular rigmarole. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, let's be strategic. Let's be effective. Let's be efficient in that space. Again, I digress. My bad, bro.
No, man, you speak in truth, and it's something to think about because, number one, everyone that's on our call are entrepreneurs or striving entrepreneurs. And all, not only on this call, but our morning calls. So, we kind of came up in a culture of grinding, and that, quite honestly, that was one of ET's favorite phrases.
Oh yeah.
All about the grind. So, sleep is for suckers, Dave Shans, all those things that we grew up this past decade in social media, it was about the grind. But now we're learning, to your point, it's about being strategic. It's about mental health, self-care, and being self-aware. So, I really respect that, and I appreciate, you sharing that with us. But as we talk about online courses, who should be creating an online course and why, first of all?
So I always say everybody has a course in them. Now there's 3+, I call it 3+1, really means 4. 3+1 is just my little thing I put it, but I always say 3+1 types of courses. So you have your workshop style course, or maybe your mini course type deal. You have your starter course, you have your signature course, and then you have like your certification course. All right. And so all of us have some rules or even a set of knowledge that we have, or whatever level that you're at. So let's say if I'm a barber, I might not be a master barber, but my level on a 1 to 10 scale is probably a 7. Okay, cool. I can teach 7s how to do the fade and do the cut and how to shave and everything like that. I could teach 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2, 1s, novices, beginners. Same thing. Maybe I was somebody who I'm a 3. I could teach the 2s, the 1s, the 0s, and probably some of the other 3s. So what I'm saying is that we all have a level of education, right? We have a level of execution also, because I'm always big on learn, execute, then teach. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of people who are trying to learn and then teach without the execution phase. So for those who have executed and you've learned something, or you've learned something, then you execute it, now you can teach that thing, whatever level you're at, because you have people who don't know anything about it. They might have a little bit of knowledge about it, and they're not going on YouTube. They don't want to go back to the example. When I learned about photography, it took me a month and a half, but at 18 hours per day, looking at thousands upon thousands of video, like hours upon hours of video. Potentially, one of those I could have took a course on and got half of that information on that time saved. And I say, if you are able to save somebody time, save somebody money, or make somebody money, you have a course.
Nice.
You have a valuable course also. And that's usually in that hierarchy. Save time, because one thing we cannot get back is time. We can make more money all day. All right, save money or make them money. You have a valuable course. So everybody got the course.
So if I have a course in me, what are the strategies? First of all, what do I use? How do I create the course? Like walk me through creating a course.
Yep. So first and foremost, I always say we're going to start with the promise. What's the promise? What is that thing? It's like, hey, when you take this course, this is what you're going to get out of it. If you're going to be teaching real estate, you're going to be teaching personal fitness, you're going to be teaching embroidery. If you're going to be teaching chefing or cooking or baking, whatever that thing is, what is the promise? And is it valuable enough? Sometimes you have to ask yourself. Most of the people I work with, we work on the promise. Like, yo, we need to figure that thing out, because you don't want to go willy-nilly just putting out information. You figure out what that promise is. Next thing we're going to do is what I call a brain dump. The brain dump is you say, you know what, I'm going to get it on Post-it, or I'm going to put it in an Excel spreadsheet, or I'm going to put it on a Word document, and I'm just going to do an unadulterated brain dump. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no indifferent. You're just going to put it all out there. Anything that's in your mind. I know a lot of times, sometimes when I'm driving, I'll be like, oh, that's a good idea. All right, I might put it in my notes, make sure that's go part of the brain dump. I could be in the shower. I'm like, okay, let me turn this off real quick, turn the music off real quick, dry my hands off and get my phone and put that in the notes. Like, again, you're thinking about the level of the information that you will have that you're going to get to somebody. All right, great. We got the brain dump then. Then we're going to go through, we're going to trim. We're going to cut off the excess, and we're going to put this thing into an outline. Now, this is where, because I'm building a course about this is where, though, you have a coach or somebody. Because a lot of times we can teach somebody what we know, like a mentee, right? So if I want to teach you about courses, I could teach you, this is the way we do it. Yeah. Yet there is a course language. People learn differently when they're in front of their computer or in front of their phone. So there's certain steps that has to go along based off of what you are teaching. That has to go on, and this is certain things, like this is the first module, this is the next module. So normally if you're going to teach 1, 2, 3, 4, all right, on your course, it might be 1, 4, 7, 6, 2, 3, 7. You know what I'm saying? So literally you might bounce back and forth. Because how people actually learn. And that's where you have somebody who's a coach who goes through it. But again, I'm working on a course that's going to be completed very shortly, that it kind of help you through that process, whatever you're actually learning. Then after that, you got your outline. And then, okay, now we're going to figure out, all right, cool. We get the name, we get the URLs and things of that nature. We record. And the funny part is, they think because I come from the photo video background, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to make it look good and sexy and everything like that. I was like, I'm going to tell you this, shooting it and recording is probably 20%. Like really, like it takes me between 35 to 60 days to work on somebody's course. Like we go in. Like I actually had one of my young ladies, she's actually doing a credit course. She's a phenomenal beast, breaking it down into 3 separate: personal credit, business credit, and then team credit. And we literally going through her outline. She was like, you do this with everybody? I was like, yeah. She was like, wow. She thought it was just like, you're just going to show up. We're going to shoot the stuff. We're going to chop it up, put it on Teachable or Thinkific, and that was it. No. Yeah. And the reason why I'm going to say this, I'm going to give you a little backstory also. I know you asked the question, but why courses? Yeah. A lot of people ask me, why courses, right? And so I'm going to be honest with you. I hated courses. I hated everybody talking about, I got this digital course, I got this, da-da-da-da. And if I'm not mistaken, it was around 2013 or 14. And I was talking about it on the call, how they had the DVD box sets. And some of them, even if we go even back, it was like, yo, you get the VHS and then you get the CDs and you buy this for $99.99 when we got here. And you get it in 6 to 8 weeks, cash on delivery and all this other stuff. Like, I hated it. Then the internet came and everybody's like, we're going digital. Now everybody got a course. Everybody's an expert in there. And again, don't get me wrong, people are experts. Mm-hmm. But what happened to me, I was looking and I was like, yo, just like the real estate bubble and blow up, I was like, yo, this course thing gonna blow up. Mm-hmm. All right. So the first thing I did, I went to my coach, CJ, and I said, yo, this joint gonna blow up. I want to create that new thing for courses. Mm-hmm. And I want to be on the cusp of that new thing. Yeah. And he's like, yo, I feel you on one end, but he was like, right now is the perfect vehicle in regards to disseminate information to a large population. Mm-hmm. And I was like, or to your tribe. And I was like, okay, how can I fix this? So I'm on social media, I'm looking around and I'm seeing people talking about, yo, you seen that episode of, and people in the comments, it was like, hey, you seen that? I was like, da-da-da-da. She's like, girl, I can't wait. I got to go. I'm at work right now. Don't y'all be telling me nothing about it. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to get home and I got to see the episode. Yeah. And I see this thing going on. And so you got these people who will binge watch a TV show or a series on Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or BT, whatever you're looking at. You would do that. But when you're talking about something that could change your life and change your kid's life or anything like that, you would not watch that. The number is 10%. I want y'all to remember this. What happens is, for those who are looking at building a course, the number 10% is the average of the people who will actually complete the course. So if you had 100 people buy it, 10 of the people are going to complete it. And out of that 100%, they're only going to complete 10% of the course.
What?
That is the number. And so what happened is, subconsciously as a brand, I bought your course maybe for $1,000. I only completed 10%. In the back of my mind, like, yo, Ihsaan, the StyleJumper, subconsciously I'm like, yo, I ain't buying nothing from him again. It's my fault though.
Yeah.
And again, we got other stuff going on. We got kids, we got daycare, we got work, we got 9 to 5. Some of us got full-time as far as entrepreneurship. We got all these other things. We got to take care of the household. But those same people are watching that Netflix episodes, binge watching 10 hours, 18 hours. You know what I'm saying? But they couldn't go back to your course. So my thing was, how can we change the narrative on the course? That's where I came in, and I did the research, and I was like, you know what? Okay, we can change this thing. We can make it entertaining, educational, as well as inspiration. I'm always talking about those three. Well, 3 plus 1. Again, you got you're gonna be entertaining, educational, inspiration. The last one is status. So people are like, yo, what's status? Well, Kim Kardashian and Tesla is another brand that's based off of status. Again, but if you could do the major 3, you win. So I've always been doing courses for Eric Thomas. He's Eric Thomas. Cool. Yeah. But the first one was really Jamal King, the 9 to 5 millionaire. Please, y'all look him up. He's changing the game in regards to the real estate space. Yep. And that one is the one that changed my whole life and career.
So you created that course. I mean, you pretty much.
It was with the team. Yep. Myself, Carl. And I used a lot of that information. So if you think about it, in regards to, remember I said the promise, we had the promise. The promise is the teacher in regards to how to invest in real estate.
Yep.
Next thing says the brain dump. Well, him and his partner, who've been his partner for 20 years, they spent 7 days in his kitchen brain dumping information. If you see the picture of all the papers that was on his dining room table in regards to 17 to 20 years of information, now we got to put that thing into something concise. And we got to make it sexy.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
So here's just for non-disclosure, or just to kind of put that out there for disclosure, is I took the course.
Yeah. Oh, you took it? Okay.
You know what I mean? And I took the course when it first came out, and I had never been so like into information that could probably put you to sleep. And the way it was put together, you know, you had the dynamic camera conversation, but then you had those experts in those individual aspects of the overall business that really helped tie you in, because one, you're not falling asleep, even though Jamal is dynamic and, you know, he's a beast in what he does, and he has a great story, but it was really, really well put together. So for those of you just saying, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, I would highly recommend it. Make real estate real. Shout out to Jamal King and all those, you know, Jose, you did a great job. So let me let you get back to it.
Oh, no, that's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to go back real quick. One thing I'm horrible about is remembering names. Again, I know me. I'm horrible with directions. I love GPS, right? I love it. Sometimes I have multiple phones and the one that's in my car, and I love GPS, but I'm horrible with names. So I can't get directions right or names. Even in high school, I only remember a handful of people. I can't remember none of my teachers, but I remember one.
Okay.
And her name was Miss Johnson.
Okay.
Now, why do you think I remember Miss Johnson?
Miss Johnson was fine.
Miss Johnson was fire. She was fire. And she taught English, and I'm sitting in her English class. I'm like, yo, this is, you fire. You good. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there learning. I'm being proactive and everything like that. And I'm doing it because it's attractive. It's sexy.
Best grade. Yeah. Best grade.
Now, exactly. Now, what if Miss Johnson was, forget the race. He was just a 60-year-old man who sounded like the Clear Eyes guy. Like, you know what you do? Sometimes you just got to make sure that your grammar is correct. Like, dude, I'm falling asleep. I'm not going to remember nothing. I'm not going to be engaged. 100%. Again, that's what we do as far as with the course. We make that thing sexy. So now you're going to get back like, yo, I want to make sure that, like we're talking about Jamal's course, like, yo, I want to make sure that I saw that module, I saw that lesson. I can't wait to get back. Yeah, I got to take the kids to daycare. Yeah, I got to do this. Yeah, I got to go to the store, but I have to get back to watch this one piece. I had one of the gentlemen, I'm actually building his course now, and he told me, he was like, dude, I watched it by myself. Next thing you do, I went back to take notes to do it again. Next thing, I brought my wife and we watched it. Like, we were spending like date nights to do it. I said, man, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's why I did it. And I try to, every course that I'm building in that, and I'm building his course like that, even though his is more internal and not for the external users, but still at the same time, so people will be able to enjoy it and have that Netflix experience where you want to come back. I can't wait to come back. You thinking about it. I want to come back to this course.
Because something drew them to the course in the beginning anyway, right? So it's that initial catch. Hey, you know, you can learn this, or, you know, you've been thinking about this. Why not do it now? And, you know, and just kind of like draw them in. But the key person there, you're saying only 10% actually complete it. That's a really, you know, interesting number. And it's sort of sad, right? So you're like, you know, I've invested, you know, $50 to a couple of $1,000 or even tens of thousands of dollars, whatever the case may be, and not be committed to it. So do you feel as though it's the lack of dynamic conversation that puts people to sleep, to your point of that teacher, you know, just put you to sleep? What do you think what's that biggest obstacle for someone?
So here's one of my secret sauces that I have. And it's a couple. I'm gonna give a couple secret sauces that I have in my course that teach in regards to why it works. So one of the first secret sauces is in regards to your video. Can you explain a point in that video within 3 to 8 minutes? 3 to 8, right? So let me explain why. I've seen courses where they're going in from 10, 15, 30, an hour. One lesson, and a lesson means a video. One lesson. It could be slides, whatever. Okay, let's say I have to pause. I'm watching on my phone. I'm on my computer, what have you. Let's say I'm on and I have to pause. Again, let's go back to the kids. I have to do something with the kids. The kids and the dog is acting crazy. Oh, I got to leave. I got to go shopping, or, you know, it's an emergency. Somebody called me. Now I go back to the course and I'm like, was I at 15:32? Was I at 20? Where was I at? Versus if I got a 3 to 8 minute video, what will happen is an emergency comes like, oh, I only got 1 more minute. Let me finish that, at least that. Like, cool. I know where I'm going. That's one. That's one. So we making sure this thing is bite-sized, is digestible. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to do no full course meals or things like that. We're going to make sure you get the information, but it's digestible. Next thing, breaking it up into almost 5 areas. So I take your whole course and we break it up into 5 areas. First and foremost, your people have to win. And I want you to understand, everybody who's on here, they have a course. Your people have to win. And what I mean as far as your people have to win, they have to have something that's going to show them results. A lot of times people will do these courses and they don't get the person or the student doesn't get the result until the end. So you mean I got to take a 3-hour course or a week course or this, that, and the third, and I don't get to make my first until, no. So what happens is out the gate, we're going to have them do something. They're going to have a quick win. Whether it's sending an email, whether it's doing this, whether it's writing down your notes in regards to looking at your investments, whatever that thing is, we're going to have a quick win to show that there's some sort of progression. After that, we have as far as micro results, you know, a couple little micro results here, boom, 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 boom. Next thing, we have another segment of micro results. Boom. After that, then we're looking at as far as good results or medium results. Then we have the big results. And again, this is strategically placed inside of your modules and lessons. Modules you will look at as chapters of a book. Lessons are the actual video. So when we break down that outline, this is what I'm doing. Like, what is a result? What is a call to action we can have them do? Again, we got to get them engaged. Again, if I'm just sitting there in the class with the clear eyes guy, I'm not doing anything. Versus you got me doing something. You got me standing up. You got me doing something. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm seeing some sort of results, oh, I like this. Why? It's the dopamine effect. It's that thing. And then the last piece is, too, in regards to just that dopamine effect, is the sexy. So shout out to my guy, Anthony Flynn. He is a CEO coach. So he's coached Eric Thomas, and a lot of Fortune 500 CEOs. We did his course, and what I had him do first and foremost, I was like, hey, let's change the game up. So every time we would have a module, I had him changing clothes. Oh, we was getting our Patti LaBelle, Beyonce on. Woo. Every time he would change clothes. Then after that, what I would do also is change some of the background lighting. Again, you would never get mundane, you know, so I could change up some stuff. I could change up as far as how it looks. Again, we don't want that thing to be stagnant. We don't want that thing to be stale. And again, this subconscious. They were like, did something change? Wait, what's going on? You wouldn't even know. And it's something that just, and it's even sometimes specific, like even angles that we would use. I got a lot of my clients, we're building up their home studios. So what happens is when they're on Zoom, how many times have y'all seen somebody who was like, yo, that joint is fired? Now they listen to what you say because again, it's that Miss Johnson effect. That Miss Johnson effect.
Sexy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
there
sir.
you go. There you go. That's why I got all these lights on. I'm trying to give y'all Miss Johnson out here in these streets.
You know, that's the new term. We're gonna be talking about Miss Johnson.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, Ben Stein, the clear eyes guy.
What about tools? Like, what kind of tools am I using to create this course? Like, there's so many different different tools out there. What are your thoughts around that?
So in regards to placement, right? So they ask where am I housing at? You got the poor man's way. And what I say as far as the poor man's way, it just means that, look, I ain't trying to spend no money. I got a website, and maybe I'm going to take my video, I'm going to put it on the back of a website. So you can use Vimeo. Sometimes you can use YouTube, and I can take my videos, put them on there, hide them, put them as private or unlisted. And then now I just embed the code on the back of my website. I can give somebody, if they pay me money, or for somebody I'm giving for free, for whatever reason, I give them a passcode that goes to the back of the website, then they can go through. Boom, boom, boom. You have other ones like Thinkific. You have Teachable. You have Teachery. You have Podia, however you pronounce it. All these, I don't even know how to pronounce them all the way. You have Kajabi, and virtually all of them do the same thing.
Okay.
Right? You know, so a lot of times people are like, which one should I use? I myself am more around the Thinkific because I've used it. I've used it a lot of times. I mean, that was the first one that I used in regards to Jamal King's course. So again, I know how to maneuver in it, but all of them do the same thing. Some of them will let you sign up as far as having your landing page and your funnel all in like Kajabi. You know what I'm saying? So all these different things. But that's if you're selling your own, right? You're putting yours in the market. A lot of people say, well, I got information, but I ain't no marketer. Okay, cool. You have it where you can use Skillshare or Udemy. If I'm pronouncing it right, I know y'all probably slashing me in the joint. Yeah. So what happens is now I'm just giving them the content. We have people who have a subscription and they watch it. Then I get a kickback or I get a profit off of my course, but I don't have to really push it. Now it's going more often than not, it's going to be less of a profit, you know, than me going out and selling it. But what happens is, again, I don't have to do the work. Maybe I'm somebody who's not trying to push. I ain't trying to show it on social media. I ain't trying to do that, but I want people to find it and get the value. Cool, no problem. Or maybe you don't feel it's worth enough money. Again, it's just one of those things. One of the things I also go through is pricing. Yeah. Right?
Next
so, and the wild part I always say about pricing, right? It goes back to the promise and it goes to value. If I can show you how to make $5,000 in 30 days, I can sell you a course for $4,000. That return on the investment, you can't beat in the stock market. You can't beat as far as the real estate. This and that quick 30 days, I'm going to give you $1,000 basically off of my course. Okay. And then if I was able to show you how to do it month over month over month, okay, then that's additional value. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. And I want y'all to always remember that. Price is only. So literally, if somebody has an issue with your price, they don't see your value. And that could be whatever product or service you have. It could be your personal brand, whatever that you're bringing to the table. If they have an issue with your price, it's because of the issue with your value. Why? Because people buy Hermes belts. They buy these luxury purses. They would do all these different things and they would spend their money on. But then when you come, it's like, hey, I got this. And you know what? You got 50% discount? That's my birthday. It's a holiday coming up, Flag Day coming up. You got something coming up on Flag Day? You got a discount coming? Again, it's only a problem if they don't see the value. But if I'm showing you the value, remember that goes back to the promise. If I'm showing you this value, I could charge whatever. But let's make sure we just clear. And I just use that always as a large number. But there are some people who charge $10,000 for as far as their courses. But I always say, if you are charging for a course, never go over 100, under 100. Now, there's 97 that works. 97 works, but don't go under 100. Now, reason why I say that, because I have people who charge 47, things of that nature. What happens is, again, innately or subconsciously, people are looking at it as like, oh, there's no value here. I spent 47. I might not catch that module. Well, I only spent 47.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's that, again, I don't care how good it is. It doesn't matter. It's the same reason why, I don't know if you saw when they did a situation where they turned one of the pay less shoe stores into this high-end shoe store. Same shoes, but people were coming in. Oh yeah, they did a test where they turned a Payless shoe store and made it to this high-end name or what have you. And the same shoes that were in there, changed the decor a little bit, and people were spending thousands and upon thousands on shoes.
Oh wow.
For the same shoe.
That's crazy.
That you would get for $19.99. Again, perception of value. So if I charge my course at $47, there's a perception or a lack of value there.
Okay, got it.
So, and if you feel like it's 47, I will actually use that more of a lead magnet, meaning that I'm going to send you bits and pieces of it via email. Why am I going to do that? I already got your email. You went to my website. And now I'm going to use that for something to grow you into something else, meaning I'm going to create a lifelong client with you. I'm going to give you value. You got enough value. Hey, watch 1, 2, 3 videos. They're real short, and hopefully you get some value. Maybe we get on a call or something like that. All right, cool. Maybe I'm going to send it out in portion of a PDF, like all these different things that you will have to bring to the table. If you feel like you got to charge for less, let's use it for a lead magnet and to add value. Maybe I'm taking pieces of it and putting it out on social media. One of my courses I did, because it wasn't one of the secret sauce pieces, we took pieces of the actual course that we shot and put it on social media. Why? Because we want people to see that, first off, this thing is valuable. Second off, this thing is sexy, and you need to get it. And we killed the game as far as with that one. You know, so understanding what type of course that you're bringing. Is it going to be a workshop type course? And what I mean is workshop, let me make sure we're clear too. Workshop type courses mean that we jumped on Zoom and maybe I'm teaching 3, 4, 10, 20, 30 people. And I'm taking that video. Cool. Now I'm going to save that video that I taught on Zoom. That's one lesson. All right, great. Now I'm doing the same thing next week, but I'm checking with the people like what worked last week, what didn't work, how do I expound on it? Great. No problem. You're giving me information. Great. I got that second video. No problem. Now I do a third one. Again, these are all free. I'm doing these all for free. Or for a low cost, doing these, recording these Zooms. Now I got a whole collection of these videos, and then I can sell to the public. Or I could sell for resale for the people who were already there, because again, they might just have notes, but they not have it all in one spot. You know, this was a 6-week, this was an 8-week type deal. You could sell it. My one of my clients that we're finishing their 2.0 course, Mobile Home Elite Investors. They were on the Earn Your Leisure podcast, had the #1. Yeah, they did that same process on their first course. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they made a lot of money on it. When you look at it though, because, and again, it's based off of the value, they didn't have the sexy. The second one though, you got the value, got the sexy, got so much, dog. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Got that Miss Parker game going. So all right, Jose. So I work with you. I've got my course. I figured everything out. Brain dump, put everything together, did my video recording. Now I'm going to approach the marketplace. What's that timeline when you're launching a course? Is there like a runway? Do I need to start promoting this course? What does that look like?
So I always say, if we're talking about, because there's a level, for those who've been an author, more than likely you've known about the pre-sale. And what the pre-sale means that before you got a book, you're accepting people's money. I normally want, as far as the pre-sale for a course, to be 2 weeks from the launch date. And normally you want to sell it for 50%. But prior to pre-sale, we start now. I got clients right now where we haven't recorded a thing, but every time that they show up, whether it's social media, whether it is a conference, whether it is a virtual event, they are, I say, pointing to their course. What does that mean? I always say selling without selling. There's ways to actually point them into a direction of their course. I don't have to tell you about my course. I'm going to give you the value and then let you know I got more to come, or I got something that's going to come, or what have you. So every time they will show up on social media, to a certain extent, they're talking about their course. It's almost like a trailer, one of those ones that in the beginning, it'd be a picture of something, and it'd be like April 4th, 2021. Shout out to that. Shout out to April 4th, 2021. That's my birthday, so I just want to throw that out there. But let's say it was April 4th, 2021. You're like, oh, what is this? What is going on? Again, every time that they show up, boom. And then you can get to the point, because you've added so much value, that people are going to buy. I call it the 5 grape theory. Y'all can write this down, 5 grape theory. What happens is I always talk about the 5 grape theory in regards to value. So whatever the type of grapes you like, whether it's the green or the red, you know what I'm saying? But just imagine, and some of y'all don't even like grapes, but whatever. Just imagine that you like grapes. So whatever's the green, the gray, my favorite is the green. So let's say I got the fattest grapes, the juices. You're like, Jose, I got them fat, juicy grapes. Like, he coming through. And I provide you with 5 of those grapes 5 days a week.
Okay.
For free. No, I got that work. So what happens is, and we're talking about within a month's time, no weekends, I'm doing this for 22 days in a month. All right, cool. I do this process for 3 months. So now we're talking about 66 days out of 90. I'm providing you with 5 grapes per day, except for on the weekends. And I want you to think about it. These grapes are not filling you up. They're holding you over, but they are fire. They delicious. They juicy. You like, yo, got that work.
Need
All
that.
right, got that work. But then what happens is, after the 3 months, I come through with a bushel. I got a bushel of the grapes now. But I'm not giving them away for free. You feel obligated to buy them for 2 reasons. One, because you know I got that fire. Second, I've been providing you with so much value for the last 3 months, or the last year, or the last 2 years, or the last 5 years. I've been providing you with value. It's the same thing in regards to Eric Thomas. People buy because he's done all these things. You will see the videos on YouTube for so long. It's like, yo, I didn't pay you for nothing. Or now you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to buy the tickets to the event. I'm going to buy the books. I'm going to buy the clothes. Again, it's the 5 grape theory. It's like, yo, I've been giving out the value for so long. Think about it. Same thing when you go to the food court and the Asian brother like, yo, try the spicy chicken. Like, you want like, oh. Or you go to the Costco's and they're like, yo, let me give you this free sample. And have y'all noticed at the Costco's, it tastes better than when you get home and cook it? For sure.
Well, Jose, look, man, this has been amazing, bro. You killed it on the value, on your time. I'm honored. We have about a minute and 30 seconds. So look, where can people find you, Jose? If I want to get your course, but also just to learn more about this wisdom and knowledge that you're dropping tonight.
Yeah. So first and foremost, hopefully y'all following. Got a lot of information, even just on my page and my highlights, featuring _Jose. Boom, I'm there. I answer my DMs. I'm pretty good as far as answering them on time, but at the same time, I got a lot of people, asking how to do certain things in regards to their brand. But then also, Ihsaan, I don't know if you can put it in there, but I want all of y'all to go to beastmodedigital.com. Beastmodedigital.com. We got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of free stuff that we're going to be giving. And what happens is it's going to be a pop-up, and it's going to say, hey, do you want to join the mailing list? Yes, you do. We have a lot of stuff. You want to join the mailing list? I have a free introductory, I would say. I'm going over everything that I went through here, as well as a lot more. It's a PDF with videos that's going to be all free in regards to building out your course and bringing value. So beastmodedigital.com. Beastmodedigital.com. Everybody on here, say it with me. Like with Dora.
Digital, y'all.
You know how Dora be like, Dora be all.
We on the clock, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah. My bad.
That's all right.
I hope you enjoyed today's amazing interview. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description.